Hey guys, welcome to another video. If you're new here, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Today I wanted to do a guitar history type video. Not really guitar history, but one of my guitar's histories or guitars history of some guitars I own. So in about 1988, I traded a Fender Princeton Chorus solid state amplifier for this. This is an Ibanez RG550 and it's in some kind of like burst color, kind of cool. There's a little blemish on it, has a Floyd Rose. Anyway, these were the guitars of the time. You got to remember it was 1988. Stuff on the radio was like Slaughter, Rat, Skid Row, Motley Crue, Extreme, Dokken, all that stuff. So I got me one of these, which enabled me to become a shredder to a certain extent. And this was not my first guitar. I actually, when I got this guitar, sold a Stratocaster, kind of a beige yellowish Stratocaster. Sold it to some kid up at the university here where I live. For like $100, and it was from a Sears catalog. It was the first guitar I ever bought from. I had a paper route when I was a kid, and when I was 13, I bought my first electric guitar. I had played acoustics and stuff like that before, but I finally had my own money, and there was no internet. There was only a Sears catalog, and there was I can't even remember the model of it now. I still wish I had that guitar because it's just a piece of my history. I basically learned how to play on a Stratocaster style guitar. I mean, it was perfectly a Stratocaster. The only thing different about it was that it did have a lock-in nut, and it did have somewhat of a Floyd Rose on it, which was kind of surprising coming from a Sears catalog. It was a really good guitar, and I still regret selling it. Anyway, 1992 rolls around, a little band called Nirvana comes along, and that little song pretty much killed all the shredders and hair metal guys. Lucky for me, I wasn't even in town. It didn't really get to me too bad. I really actually liked a lot of that stuff, and it came on the radio before I left. I moved to Michigan for a couple of years. Didn't even play guitar, or at least play electric guitar. I didn't play in any bands for a couple of years. When I got home, shred was basically dead on the radio. It was Pearl Jam and a lot of 90s grunge, and then 90s kind of pop stuff. There's like Stone Temple Pilots, bands like that. Anyway, I was still playing this. I was kind of out of the loop. I was playing this. I didn't look cool. This didn't look cool on stage. All the bands I saw up at the college, which I ended up going to school, all the bands I saw up at college were playing like Les Pauls and Strats, and like not these kind of guitars. So there was a board you could put things on and sell items, and a guy was selling a made in Mexico Stratocaster, and he sold it to me for like $150. It was I think it's a 91 Strat, and it was black. And I bought that guitar. I was in my first band. I was probably 21 years old. And that guitar from about 97 to about 2010 is about the only guitar I played. And I just played the heck out of it. It played hundreds of gigs. I was gigging in clubs every month in Wyoming and Idaho and Utah. And it saw lots of smoky bars. And the pickups finally went out on it. And I painted it. And I bought this new Pickguard, preloaded Pickguard from Amazon. And it sounds pretty good. But today I'm going to take this one out, and we are going to and the reason why I painted it, this is why I'm saying I'm probably going to regret this, was that this guitar was basically this guitar minus the tortoiseshell Pickguard. I bought another black guitar, and so I had two black Strats, and that's why I painted this one. But this one, the reason I bought this one is I wanted to get a burst Strat, like a Sunburst Strat, and they were out of stock, and this had Texas Specials in it with a humbucker because I wanted to do the bluesy thing, but then I also wanted to switch it up to the bridge and be able to do like a overdriven type thing. So I had two black Strats. So this thing wasn't really working that well anymore. The pots were all shot, full of secondhand smoke and whatever dust. Just this Strat's been played like all over the place. So anyway, I changed out this pickguard. Long story short, today I'm gonna install another pickguard into this preloaded. This preloaded pickguard was about 15 bucks on Amazon about 5 years ago. And I'm gonna load this one. And it's a mint green. I don't know if you guys even like that color of blue with this mint green. Maybe that makes you throw up, but I think it looks kind of cool. We're gonna try it. It's got Wilkinson pickups in it. I bought this preloaded pickguard on Amazon, and this time I spent a little more money. This one was about 55 bucks. So we're gonna see how it sounds. And first of all, we're gonna just test this Strat out and let you see how this Strat sounds with the old pickguard in it. Then once we install this, then we will do another sound test to see what this one sounds like. And you guys let me know what you think. This is the old pickups, and I'm running this through my Marshall Origin 50 head into a vintage 30 cab, and this is what it sounds like. And even this cheap pickguard's starting to get some stuff, and I need to get some contact cleaner and probably clean it out, but it doesn't matter anymore because I'm taking it out. Crank the gain up a little bit on this. Bridge pickup. Second position. Middle. Fourth position. Neck. All right, guys, so now we're going to go switch this thing out. I'll show you guys how to do that. Pretty simple. So let's head there now. Okay guys, so here we go. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take all these strings off. I was kind of worried about this being a that I was going to have to restring this, so it's probably going to affect the tone of the new pickups anyway. But maybe you'll still be able to tell a difference between the pickups. As you can see, I don't have a very professional workspace. I just have a towel on the floor, and just so I don't like burn anything with the soldering iron, burn down the house. I do need to get a table or a bench up here somewhere, maybe in the garage, I don't know. I don't work on guitars enough to justify it, so I haven't done that yet. And I have a feeling that possibly these holes, the screw holes from the pickguard, are not going to line up exactly with the new pickguard, but we will find out. If that's the case, we'll figure out what we're going to do to get those to line up. I am not opposed to possibly drilling new holes. And I've played this Strat so much that I'm seeing quite a bit of fret wear on this. This Strat probably could be refretted at some point. Right now I don't think it's really affecting the sound too much, but there's just some spots, especially where you play your open chords, etc. Actually, it's right along where that G and that the G and the D and the E string dig in is where the most fret wear is. And maybe I can just see it because that light is on it. Alright, so we got those off. So let's just pull those to the side. And let's grab a Phillips. Put it on this. Let's take this thing off. And I'm hoping this goes smoothly. I don't want bad stuff to happen, if you know what I mean. Alright, so screw number 1 is off. Okay, so, oh, did we miss one? No. Alright, so that's going to come off like so. And then what we want to do is we want to plug our soldering iron in and just disconnect these. You don't want to clip them, because if you ever want to use this preloaded pickguard again, you don't want to like have to rewire it. So I'm just going to plug my soldering iron in, and oh, we got to take this off. And it's good to stay organized with where you're putting your screws, just so you don't forget like which ones are which. For the most part, they're all the same, so it shouldn't really matter. But all right, so let's grab that new pickguard. So here's the new pickguard. So what you want to do is you want to just pull this input jack out, and then you just want to get this hot enough Okay, so there we go. So we got this off. And you want to make sure you're going to put your black ground wire on the left and your white hot wire on the right on this little dill here. So left is your ground, white is your hot wire. Just remember that. Pull this cord through, and this also has a ground, I think. I don't know how it's attached. Oh, it's in the back. Forgot about that. So let's open the back up real quick. Okay, so there we go. That's off. So that should just pull through. That's off. One thing I'm noticing about these two pickguards is that there's some shielding just right here around the pots, but nothing around the pick ups. But on this new one, it's got some copper shielding around the whole dill. So we're going to see if that makes a huge difference. What I'm going to do, let's move this out of the way, and let's just see if this thing fits. If the holes are going to fit first. Let me put this over here somewhere. Okay. Pretty tight fit. It looks like we might have to drill some new holes. And I didn't want to have to do that, but you do what you got to do. Okay, so we have the pickguard laid out into it now. Looks pretty good. I think there's maybe only a few holes that are going to fit the screws, so I'm going to have to drill some pre-holes here. And I got the smallest little drill bit I could find. And so we're going to start up here. And what you want to do is you want to get this lined up how you want it. You want this to be, kind of exactly where you'd want it. And then just start and do a little hole. Not too deep because the screws aren't that big. They're only like that. So, and then we're gonna have to put one right here. You want to get right in the center on these. Okay. Blow that out. This one's good. But the rest of them, and this one looks like it's good, but the rest of them are all going to have a hole drilled. Which is not a big deal. You can't see any of the other holes underneath the pickguard anyway. So this one looks like it already has kind of a hole that might be sort of there, but wonder if the screw will go in there or not. We'll try that. This one looks good. This one, that one looks like it's pretty almost there.
This one, I don't know. I don't think so. All right, so this one needs a hole. That one looks good. Okay, well, I think we're ready to install this thing. The holes are drilled, and this looks like the screws will go on pretty easily. So, what you want to do is you want to just take and run your hot wire, which is your white, through here into the input jack hole. And then you can run any one of these black ones into here as well. Maybe. They didn't make this hole very big. I'm going to use this other one. There we go. All right, so I'm going to get just a little bit of solder going on this input jack. Just so we have some on there. Put a little pre-solder on these where you're going to put the wires. Want to get quite a bit on there. And I am not the best soldering person in the world, but I do what I can do. All right, so then let's just put a little bit of pre-solder on the hot joint here. Okay, maybe just a little bit more. Okay, just add a little bit more solder to it. Okay, so those are on. Now we've got to put this ground wire through the back of the guitar and solder that in. So there's a little hole here. Just gotta run it through. And I'm just gonna put this pickguard right on while I'm doing this. Right into place. We're gonna flip this thing around. Hopefully this is connected enough to not come apart. Okay. Now we're gonna just go ahead and solder this wire to the back of this. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's probably fine. Okay. And then I'm just going to put a little bit more solder on there. Not too much. Just enough to hold that in place. Okay. All right, so now the final step. Before you put this thing installed all the way on, you want to plug it in, see if it works. So we're going to do that. make sure these connections are good. They're good. Okay. Let me grab a cord for an amp. Actually, I just have a bass amp right here. I'm just going to use this bass amp just real quick to make sure we are working. Oh, we gotta plug it in. We gotta plug it in, plug it in. Okay. And I'm getting old because my legs fell asleep doing this. Ugh. And if you listen, you can hear that those are working. So we are good. We're good. All right. All right. So now we're just going to put everything back to where it was at, and then we're going to go put new strings on this. Then we're going to test it out for you guys. See if these are good sounding pickups. We're going to use the new screws that came with the Pickguard right here. You don't want to go too tight, but just flush enough that it looks good. Do you know what I mean? If you know what I mean. And this is kind of one of those guitars that I've had for a while where I feel like maybe I would want to relic it or just kind of make it look just, you know, give it some vibe and stuff, but I just haven't. I don't know how to relic anything, and I don't dare try doing anything like that. So if I do that, I might take it to someone who knows how to do it, not do it myself. But then you always run the risk of that person jacking it up. But yeah, you can't. How can you jack? I mean, I guess you can jack up a relic and make it look really stupid, but.
All right, guys, so here it is. I didn't have any wire cutters to cut the strings off. Couldn't find them. I do have some, I just couldn't find them. Let's take a listen. This is the neck pickup. Fourth position. middle. All right, second position. First position. All right, let's try it with a little more gain. Second position. Middle position. Fourth position. Neck. There you have it, guys. I think it sounds great. I'll put a link in the description to this preloaded pickguard. It is by a company called KAISH. I don't know if you guys can see that. Professional guitar parts and accessories. I don't know where it's made, but possibly China. But I don't know how good you guys can see that. Kind of a glare on there. I think it looks pretty good. Actually pleasantly surprised at how good it looks. I restrung it with these new D'Addario NYXLs, and I use 10 to 46 strings. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. It's been quite a journey this guitar has been on. I've had this guitar since 97, so what's that? 23 years? About as long as I've been married. So, yeah, this has kind of been just one that's hung around and I've messed with, and I repainted it, and it just plays really well and stays in tune really well because it just has been played so much. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. Appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't and hit the notification bell, and we will see you at the next video. Adios.